Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mampolo from Mampolo's Corner. Renee, your mindset. Guys, this EFCC man went and sacked. Tinubu, I hope this sacking is genuinely sack. I know why I'm asking this question. I hope this sacking na genuine sack or sack this man. I know why. I don't say he got some corruption allegations everywhere. I don't got problem with that. But I hope that because of these corruption allegations, make una sack. I'm not be saying make it come to investigate on when coming. People like Ganduje, when be a right-hand man. I hope because no one made them they investigate people like Ganduje, them one day for your cabinet or one day for within your government APC when they support you. Now you make una sack the EFCC chairman. I hope so na genuine sack. If not that one, I no get problem. If not genuine sack, I no get problem. Now, before I begin to present the news about the new sacking when they happen so for this EFCC chairman, make I first give one some corruption charges when they don't levy against this guy, this EFCC. Not only in Nigeria, they say somebody when they fight corruption, they more corrupt than people when they fight. Not only in Nigeria, the head of corruption fight, they more corrupt than even the corrupt when they fight against. Not in Nigeria. What they call Bawa waiting. Now you know what you the Bawa there. Before I go talk about this recent suspension when they give them, let me show you some clip. Little talking about the corruption charges when they levy against this Bawa. I don't want to talk too much. Look on the watch video.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC,
yeah.
Abdurrashid Bawa, who traveled for lesser Hajj with his wife, children, parents and other family members about a month ago. It was revealed that while in Jeddah and Mecca, they stayed in Sheraton Hotel, which cost about $15,000 for 10 days per room. Jesus. And Mr. Bawa paid for 6 rooms. And the hotel accommodation for the trips is estimated to be around $300,000.
Jesus.
We understand the need for a religious pilgrimage for every personal individual. But we have failed in every possible thought to justify how Abdurrashid Bawa could easily afford that luxury without batting an eyelid. It is of great concern to everyone how the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, would opt in for such a luxury that was not funded by the government, even with an obvious knowledge of what his monthly take-home is. An agency like the EFCC is built on accountability and frauds at fund mismanagement, embezzlement, and other vices. If the chairman is therefore found wanting in any regard to the transparency of such trip funding, are we not making a huge mistake as a nation still having him in the position of power? It therefore remains no proper justification for the career of spending. We should therefore say that Mr. Bawa has continued to exhibit incompetence and unprofessionalism in managing the affairs of the agency. His never-ending display of ineptitude and his leadership will create greater mishap within the noble agency. The Coalition of Concerned Citizens frowns at the magnanimous exhibition of the corrupt practices, breach of public trust, and abuse of power by Bawa. Jesus. Mr. Bawa needs to come clean on the way and manner he has prosecuted the anti-corruption fight and should therefore explain how seized assets by the EFCC have been sold without adherence to due process, which exclude all form of kickbacks gotten from such process. For the record, Mr. Bawa was found wanting and reported arrested and detained in 2019 at the Port Harcourt office of the Commission, where he was the zonal head on the fraudulent sale of trucks, which necessitated his removal and detention by the same EFCC for selling at least 244 commission-seized patrol-bearing trucks, worth about 20 and 30 million naira each to his proxies at a ridiculous amount of 100,000 naira through a shady auction exercise. Also recently,
see who they fight corruption for Nigeria. They use $300,000. $300,000. They lodge for hotel. Whether not for 2 weeks, they talk. I've been for 5 days. Nigeria. This country, at the time every time. This country, you go hard before you good again. You go hard. Unless say Jesus Christ is our president. I mean, they tell you, go and verify. This Nigeria, You see somebody when they fight corruption, small boy when they bring out 40-something years, 43 years. When they even give them the post, if I say they for 39 or 30-something years, now they loot according to now. No problem. No. Tinubu don't suspend them. I know say na there they go. Because I know them. I know what they do. The former EFCC when I saw them suspend them from there, they suspend that today. We never hear what happened for that case. This case now, we not still hear anything when go happen. It don't die. Now die go. I don't want to talk too much. Only one thing when they talk here, I say make sure say this suspension, not genuine suspension because of maybe this kind of thing when I play now because of corruption purpose. Yeah, no problem. But if not for political game, then our politics when they use those play here, I go from here. They tell me they play. For those who never see us, then suspend them. No, see the recent one now. Watch the video.
Well, let's begin what's trending with reactions to the suspension of Abdurrashid Bawa, chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Wednesday. Bawa's suspension follows weighty allegations of abuse of office levied against him. In a statement by Willie Bassi, the Director of Information in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the 43-year-old EFCC boss was directed to immediately hand over the affairs of his office to the Director of Operations in the Commission, pending the conclusion of investigations on allegations levied against him. Well, the development comes less than a week after Godwin Emefiele, former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, was also suspended by the president. Well, let's take some tweets. This person wrote, 2 weeks in office, Tinubu. Fuel subsidy gone, foreign exchange rate unified, CBN governor suspended, EFCC chairman suspended, Student Loan Act signed, Electricity Act signed, Data Protection Act signed, Constitution Amendment signed, Chief of Staff appointed, SGF appointed. Well, Sports Doctor wrote, for those jumping up that Tinubu has suspended EFCC Chairman Bawa, Tinubu that is going after everyone that messed with him one after the other, systematically dismantling them. He wants to fight corruption. And Hadi Sirika is still a free man. The senator and his wife judge are still flexing. Well, Shehu wrote how Mr. Bawa's day went on Wednesday, 14 June 2023. Woke up as EFCC chairman, visited the villa, met President Tinubu, left the villa. President Tinubu suspends him indefinitely. President says he has to answer to weighty allegations of abuse of office. DSS invites Mr. Bawa. Mr. Bawa likely spent the night in DSS custody. I believe Shehu is absolutely right. There is a picture that was circulating, and I think he posted that with that picture. The suspended EFCC chairman last night honored an invitation by the Department of State Services hours after he was asked to stay off work indefinitely by the president. The spokesperson for the DSS, Dr. Peter Afunaya, confirmed in a statement that Abdurrashid Bawa arrived at DSS headquarters last night. All right, Rufai, I believe we did this. You guys did highlight this earlier this morning, but I wanted to take some reactions from social media. I mean, this is not uncommon, right, with presidents. They do suspend. I mean, it seems like it's becoming a trend, correct? Yes. They are suspending the EFCC chairman. But what happened to Magu at this point? Was he not?
I mean, truth was they were done with Magu, just like they're done with Bawa. Right. No hard feelings. I saw this coming, and it'll have been funny if Bawa had not seen this coming. They were going to be done with him at some point. And the way in which they do it, they suspend you. They said they are weighty allegations. In the case of Magu, they went through the Justice Salami panel. We went through all of that. Till date, we have not seen the result of that panel. We just need to see the weighty allegations, behind all of this. And like the DSS, once they're done with their investigation, if he's going to be charged to court, let him be charged to court. It's as simple as ABC. But we should also respect his fundamental rights and stop this trial by media like we always say. Because that's always happens. And in the end, you'll be looking for the weighty allegations. In the case of Magu, till date, we're still waiting for those allegations. We've never seen it. But, I'm not really surprised. Any new incumbent president comes in, he wants his own people, but their rights should be respected. Like till date, I don't know what's going on with Emefiele. he ought to have been charged to court,
Ah.
except if the DSS has gone to get another, court order to be able to keep him, to investigate him further. If they've not done that, he ought to have been charged to court. He's got a fundamental human right, just like I will say in the case of Bawa too. After investigating, the law provides for how long you can keep somebody in your custody. So no hard feelings. That's the way it works.
Yes.
And it's not even only him. It's just only gone on and on like that. You have many cases. Adiza Bala Osman is another one. She was suspended. When the investigation was done, we were not told anything until she had to write a book to clear her name and say what happened. A very fantastic book. I read the book, Stepping on Toes.
Yes.
So that's the way the government works. Once they are done with you, they are done with you. The case of Magu particularly made me laugh. Because Magu's case was very funny. Because the Senate had not given a say-so as regards confirmation of Magu. And he was allowed to serve so many years as acting.
Yes.
But nobody saw anything wrong with it. But when they were done with him, they were so quick to kick him out. And you see, there are lots of people that are going to be kicked out.
Wasn't he reappointed?
You get.
As a police, he had a position.
I'm sure he was absorbed in the police force. Yes, so once they're done with you, they're done with you. Another thing I quickly want to remember, because any person that said Hadi Sirika, I think there's a story that's making the rounds as regards Hadi Sirika being invited by the EFCC.
I saw that.
So just to be able to balance that.
Not 100% confirmed.
Not 100%
I saw that
balance,
breaking news as well.
Yeah, so I saw that story, and I think a couple of the papers took it.
Yeah.
But that's just it. They're done with Bawa, on to the next one. And hey, whoever comes in next should remember that when they're done with you too, probably they might treat you this way or not like this if you're lucky.
But should that be the case?
That shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, that's the question I wanted to ask you. But you see, also my tweets highlighted all of the achievements within 2 weeks of the Tinubu administration. I mean, it's like a complete house cleaning. But the other person was saying that Tinubu is trying to target the people that have come after him. And that is actually the rhetoric on social media. Go ahead.
30 cents, having listed his achievements in 2 weeks, my comments would be 2 weeks in, not a bad report card. However, of course, some of the decisions he's made or the announcements he's made hasn't been met without criticisms. Now, let's go back to the second one, which also got my attention, because it's very true. If you're fighting corruption, it must be that you're fighting at all levels. If not, that in itself becomes corruption in itself, because then what are the indices for determining who you want to go after, except the president is biding his time and doing them or going after them one after the other. So it doesn't raise suspicions around unfairness or around targeting, around the fact that there are people that he has had it in for. So I would like to see some high-profile cases, as we're going to be talking about the next story, high-profile cases in terms of him actually going after corrupt individuals. And also, if he is indeed investigating allegations of corruption, let us not see any of his appointees. He's going to release the ministerial list very shortly. His appointees who have cases to answer, because then it defeats the purpose of fighting corruption. So we'll be watching. Hope it's fair across board.
Absolutely.
Bukachua, you should start from there. By today, NGC
highlighted
should have highlighted that.
And Bukachua as well. Well, all right. Well, the development is coming as the immediate past governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, asked the High Court in the state to perpetually restrain the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission from investigating him over video clips allegedly showing him receiving wads of dollars from a contractor. The video, which trended on social media in 2018 and published by the Daily Nigerian, showed the former governor allegedly receiving the bundles of dollar notes and stuffing them inside his flowing garment, otherwise known as Babariga. While the governor debunked the content of the video, the Kano House of Assembly subsequently set up a committee to investigate the allegations. The EFCC is the only defendant in the suit. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Well, that video was in 2018,
yes.
And it became a big issue. And I think on account of that video that was released by a particular newspaper, Dr. Ganduje, as governor then, took Jafar to court, the journalist that made, that wrote that story and reported it. Now, I think it's very strange because since that 2018, the House of Assembly in Kano State set up a committee to investigate the governor. Till date, till the lifetime of that assembly expired last week, that committee never submitted any report. which is the way things go in this country.
That's it.
And this is why we say the legislature, has been so terribly abused to the extent that, those lawmakers, the oversight function that they are supposed to perform, they don't perform it. The allegation is that the governor was collecting money from a contractor and he was pocketing the money under his bull boss rope, And this was part of the money we were told meant for SUBEP, for the education sector in that particular state. So you have the House of Assembly taking such a long time and never completing the investigation, never submitting the report. And it's now on the basis of all of this that the former Attorney General of Kano State has now gone to court seeking a restraining order against the EFCC from investigating Governor Ganduje. Well, since the matter is still in court, we can just comment on it peripherally. One of the prayers that the former Attorney General is placing before the court is that, one, EFCC should not intervene until that matter is concluded by the House of Assembly. Which House of Assembly? A House of Assembly that did nothing.
Well, don't go.
And two, until the case between Ganduje and Jafar, is determined in the court of law. But the thing to note here is that, well, it's up to the court. Let us not do the work of the court for it. But to an ordinary person, this looks ridiculous. When a man is governor, Section 308 grants him immunity. But when he's out of office, he has no immunity. He can be investigated. So taking EFCC to court, EFCC has not even summoned him. EFCC has not started investigating him. They are already warning the EFCC not to attempt it. I mean, what kind of country is this? Which in itself is a violation of the rights of the EFCC, as outlined in its own establishment act. So the question to ask is, what is Dr. Ganduje afraid of? If he's not afraid of anything, if the EFCC wants to invite him, they can invite him. It doesn't mean that he's already guilty. They will carry out their investigations. And you should be reminded that it can't be going about threatening to slap people. Because this one is also like threatening to slap the EFCC. The other day he was at the villa. He said if he saw Kwankwanso, he would slap him.
That will feature on what's trending.
Some of these characters who get to leadership position in Nigeria, But it can be sure, of course, that Governor Abba Yusuf, the current governor of Kano State, will not listen to him. Already, Abba Yusuf has turned himself into a demolition man, demolishing things all over the town. But you can be sure that having lost his immunity, even the Kano State government would investigate him. So will he go to court and say the new government must not inquire into his activities when he was there?
He probably would.
Well, guys, when I don't watch the video, make it be saying that genuine changes and suspension and sacking and imprisonment or court when they take these people go, say that for genuine reason, say that for genuine corruption reason. Not be say you the one make them no investigate your caucus when they work with you now. When they be say during the time when they become governor or when they do something in their last administration, they were looting like Ganduje. They were looting. Make nobody say you know they come out and make them no go investigate them, arrest them. Now make they do all those things. I don't want to talk too much. Guys, if you love what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, even on TikTok. All I'm on political. I love you guys. Peace out.